Come on now. You already know what this is. First things first. God did this. Don't get mad with us. I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. And we got the one man and the only man that's going to check you into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Look, we got to talk about Vengeance Day because you know how it is when NXT. Look, some things on the main roster disappoint us, but when it comes to NXT and Chef Sean, man, you did your thing. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie. I'd say majority of this show right here, I think we know what we talking about here. This gave me nothing but rock chills. Come on, man. Come on. Rock chills. I ain't gonna lie. This whole show from start to finish. Well, probably the main event, but from start to finish, this whole show was amazing, man. I love this. I loved it, man. I think they did not disappoint. I think they really hit the head on a lot of it. Pause, man. Well, let's go ahead and talk about this first match because I ain't gonna lie, this was a banger off rip. Jada Parker going up against Blake Monroe in that street fight. Man, I mean, I was shocked, honestly, mainly the fact that Jada Parker actually lost this one. I ain't even gonna lie, that was a bit of a shock to me. But I think what was crazy, man, I said this and I was saying this to J Movie Mania, man. I have never seen Jada Parker lose a street fight. So the fact that Blake actually won this one was actually a bit of a shock. But I thought this was great, man. I mean, that spot they had with the diamonds, with the bag of diamonds, I said, come on, man. If you want to talk about high class, get your money right and using a weapon, I said ain't nothing better than that. And it better not be what was it the
Cubic
fake
zirconia.
diamond. Yeah, there we
Cubic
go. I was thinking, I
zirconia.
was like, yo, I know it's cubic zirconia. But I was man, but they really over delivered with this. I really loved how this was. Um, I think these women both showed the hell out. And honestly, with the street fight being over, I'm wondering how much longer this is gonna go. Part of me does wish it was for a title, but I'm still okay with how this whole thing went, man. I really enjoyed this. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think about this, man?
I said this was a 5-star match, dropped down to a 4-star. And the reason for that is because I thought they got the ending wrong. Um, I just felt like in a match of this nature, the more suitable winner would have been Jada Parker. A match like this fits her character and her mold a lot better to me than Blake Monroe. And so I just felt like this should have been a match that Jada won. And then I
Mhm.
also feel like it also to me was another match where Jada just could not win the big one. Like it seems like anytime she's in these major matches, she can't find the W. It's just always
Mm.
an L. Now, the match and the presentation itself is definitely great. It was A1. No issues there. Love this, the whole diamond element and Booker T saying a diamond is a girl's best friend. Yeah, like just being Booker. But I thought, I thought that was great, including that. I thought the finisher, as far as the finisher move, the DDT onto the diamonds, great.
Yeah.
Like, all of that, it all worked. And like I said, the only reason why, if I had to nitpick and take a star away, is because I just felt like this was the opportunity for Jada here. Like the way that she's been coming out and cutting her promos as of late, kind of just giving you this impression that she's this new, improved, Jada Parker. I thought this was her time to start to climb and to kind of just, I
Mm.
don't know, just no momentum there. I feel like it took a little bit of took a little bit of the wind out of my sails when I saw her go down for the 1, 2, 3. But again, the match itself between these ladies and the presentation of the match, the story in it, all of that was great. I just felt like the ending, it just that's where I think they lost it at. I think Jada should have won this match.
Yeah,
Much like I
I
feel like
definitely
later
agree.
on in the show, they got the other match right. So
I think I know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with you on that because I do feel like again the way they kind of represented Jada Parker. I felt like this was a time for her to kind of win. I don't think Blake needed it. And I think, not to say she didn't need it, but I think with Blake, right? I think Blake has kind of been on this path to where she's kind of been crashing out. She's kind of been having these moments, these situations. So I think for Jada to win during this time, I think that would have definitely been a little bit better. So I definitely agree with you on that. But at the same time, it's like for Blake, she has been taking a lot of L's, like a whole lot of L's. With the whole Thea Hale situation, even
Mhm.
before that with the title. So in some ways, I was like, okay, I get it. You got to give something for Blake because if she keeps losing at this point, it's like, what else can she kind of go off of? I don't think this rivalry is over though. I
Mhm.
don't think it's over. Because it did just kind of start.
Yeah.
So maybe we might see the finish with this story probably as Stand and Deliver. And I think that could be something. Now, granted, I think if that was the case, maybe we should have did a regular match and not the street fight. We
Yes.
could have maybe had that Street Fight for Sand to deliver, but
Yeah.
PLE like this Vengeance Day, I think it definitely fit the mold of what they were trying to do. So we just have to see. Maybe, nah, I wouldn't say Iron Woman match that, even though that would be kind of crazy, but maybe something along the lines to where maybe that last match might be for a title, might be for something. So we'll have to wait and see. I wouldn't say maybe for a title because again, we done seen we've seen a great title change happen tonight, and we are definitely going to talk about that. But yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Definitely agree. Oh man, we got to talk about this one, man. I thought this was just complete chaos, just complete chaos. I mean, I love this one right here, man. The way they started, the way they kind of kicked this one off. We had the is he even still the Don anymore? And that's what's kind of crazy. Like every time I see him, I want to call him the Don, but I'm like, this ain't the Don no more. But we had Tony D'Angelo going up against Dion Lennox, and man, the way this whole match started was a complete brawl. I mean, this started from the parking lot. These men just literally brawled their whole way through the whole performance center. Then when they finally got to the ring, Tony D'Angelo throwing Dion through the whole wall. I said, man, y'all are going crazy with this. But I love this. I loved everything about this. I think this was good for Tony D'Angelo. I think this kind of match right here, especially for him, since this whole thing with him and Dark State, him taking out all the members of Dark State before that. Oh, and even before they even got to the ring, I love the fact how when Dark State was kind of teaming up and ganging up on Tony, we seen OTM kind
DM.
of make that. Yeah, they came and they helped out Tony D'Angelo. And by the way, OTM cut a fire promo
They did.
back. I said,
They
man,
did.
y'all boys doing the damn thing. I can't wait to see those guys as champs soon. But yeah, I thought this match was insane, man. I think from start to finish, you had Tony D'Angelo looking strong. And I think the fact that now Tony has beaten Dark State, I think to myself, okay, now that you beat Dark State, I need to see what's next for Tony D'Angelo. Because I feel like now, kind of just seeing everything he's been doing lately, I think it's like now he's been on this, I wouldn't say revenge tour, but kind of in the way. And I like this for Tony D'Angelo, but now I need to see Tony D going back to like getting some gold. I think, and honestly, I'm still wondering too with these roses. You remember the first one when he came back, dropping the roses on people. So I was like, all right, well, you did that to a few people now. So I'm wondering how far is this gonna go? And is that gonna be something that he's gonna be doing going down the line if he wants to kind of call his shot for that title? So we'll definitely see. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts? What you think about this whole thing, man?
This is another one of those things where NXT gets to be very like creative or flex their creative muscle. Just the way this was shot, there were times I was a little confused because it was like to me, like, is this being shot in real time? Because some scenes seem sped up to me or something of that nature. But
Mhm.
how it all came together and worked when they bust through the NXT wall and then they were like inside the arena brawling, it was like this is dope. Like, they went from brawling outside in through like the backstage area. And then it just, they're up against a wall, and then, like I said, they come bursting through, and it's like, oh snap, they inside the arena right here, and the action is like up close and in your face. I just thought that the way that it was done overall was very unique, and I actually liked it. And then the bell rang, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I never heard the bell ring, but from the time they started brawling, I said, oh, now it's official. Now we here. So it was just that's how much mayhem was going on from it, because it started with the car pulling up and the fake Tony D being in there, and they start trying to jack him out the car, and then the real Tony D comes in with the crowbar and just starts whacking him. I mean, it was insane, but yeah, it was a great match, and what I think like really sold it or put it over at the end is because lately we haven't really haven't known what Tony D was about, or this new version of Tony D, what he was going to be about. We know he had a couple of things on his list that he said he wanted to do. One was about Dark State, and now he's on to number 2, whatever that is. But I think the way that he performed tonight, and the dominant performance, especially when they got in the ring, the bell went ding, 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 and then the destruction that he unleashed on Dark State there, to win in the match, and hearing the crowd start going crazy for him. I think I was like, oh, so this is the moment where it's like we all understand this is the new version of Tony D. This is this dominant character that we're getting ready to get from him. We may not get the family back, but if he's going after any title, I feel bad for whoever's holding that title, because Tony D is coming for him, and I kind of like it. Like I said, I really like how everything came together, especially with the way they have been presenting Tony D over the last month and a half since he's returned, to how it all culminated in the end tonight. And I was like, oh, this makes great sense. This is good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And I think that's the biggest thing for me when I'm looking at it. I'm like, I think I'm kind of ready to see this new chapter for Tony D, because and I was saying this before, man. We've said this plenty of times. The magic that the D'Angelo family had, like
Yeah.
with Adriano Rizzo,
Yeah.
Stacks, and
Yeah.
what's my man's that he was there, and then we ain't seen my man. What was it? Luca.
Yeah. I haven't seen it.
Gosh, I haven't seen
Oh,
him
don't
since
even get
he.
me. Since he came back for just a little bit, and
Yeah,
had the feud between him, Tony, and
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 Stacks.
Sachs. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that whole thing was just great. So I said I feel like if they was on the main roster with that, that could definitely cooked and did something. But I'm okay with this for Tony D. Like, I think this new character shows, like, look, I'm not the Don anymore. Like, he has kind of, I ain't gonna say he kind of threw that whole thing away, but it really shows how much he's evolved with this character now. I don't even hear much of the Italian accent is from time to
Yeah.
time as much. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn. So
He's
you ain't even
straight
you
turned it
just
off.
yeah. Like, he's like, nah, I'm just about business at this point, which
Yeah.
I'm okay with. I'm all right with it. So I like it. I really do like it for him. I think so far, I think even with Dion, man, I think Dion has been one that's been really kind of showing me a whole lot when it comes to his character. So I'm excited to see what they do with it. And I'm wondering too, because Dion has been another one saying, like, I'm gonna be the next one to get that NXT champion. Okay. All right, let's see what you got. Look, I ain't gonna
Yeah.
lie again, this promo's they've been fired. Like, he's
Yeah.
shows the aggression. He can really talk. I like the kind of the mannerisms. Like, it's very like it's believable for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think both of those guys, man, they showed up and showed out tonight, and I'm happy for them, man. They really over delivered on that. Really did. Oh, but we got to talk about this segment here, because I thought this was hilarious right here, man. We had Ricky Saints and Ethan Page. Okay, let's see. Oh, there we go. There we go. I was about to say sometimes the laptop be trying to mess up. The devil be working. But we had Ricky Saints and Ethan Page, man. I thought this was good, man. This was interesting because Ricky Saints is sitting here telling Ethan Page, look, I need your help. I need you to get me back. I need your help mainly just to get me back to the NXT title. He said, you know what it's like. You know what that glory felt like. And that little smirk from Ethan Page, him kind of looking, just kind of looking to himself, just thinking and imagining. I said, yeah, Ethan, I think you want that title again, man. I know what you're thinking. I know what you want, man. I know this is something that's on your mind. And I thought this was so interesting because I said to myself, man, if Ethan Page is one to either not screw over Ricky, but in some way kind of messes it up for him to get that title, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. I don't even think because I was talking to Jay. Jay was like, "Hey, Ethan might be going face tonight." He said he might. You think he might be going face? I said I don't know, man. I don't think I'm ready to see a face turn from Ethan, man. I really enjoy the heel work that he's doing. Everything with the Vanity Project. We've said it before, especially with him and Jackson Drake. I think he's been paying it forward to him. And I was like, man, this was interesting, but I feel like you can see how many times Ethan Page is trying not to laugh when he's a Ricky. Because I know
Mhm.
every time Ricky's saying something or he's looking at him, it's like I feel like Ricky's trying, Ethan is trying so hard not to look
Not
at
to laugh.
Ricky and
Yeah.
laugh. Yeah, man. Like it's so good.
Mhm.
But this was really interesting. And I truly thought this was a interesting segment. Man, Ricky, pretty Ricky Saints, man.
Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
That's what they call him, man. You know how those, you know how it is with pretty Ricky. Man, let's talk about this though. This I think was one of my favorite matches right here. I think it
Mm.
was. Izzy Dane going up against Tatum Paxley and Tatum Paxley beating Izzy Dane to become the new women's North American champion. I said to myself, it's about damn time. This is poetic. I remember. I know you said. I know you remember when I said this before. Tatum should have been had it when she was doing that tug of war with Sexy Red. I said, man, I think that's one that's gonna get it next. And I think that whole match was truly probably one of the best ones of the night. Like everything with the culling being around. Bro, I mean, even when Tatum hit Sean Spears a couple, I said, damn, Tatum. I said, okay. Not afraid to throw those hands on him. And I think, man, just the magic that Tatum's got in that ring, man. Like those spots, the one that she did when she jumped over
Mhm.
the ropes and hit Izzy with
Yeah.
that power bomb. I said,
Yeah.
damn. And then the reversal when she did the front flip and just kind of,
Yeah.
I
Yep.
said, oh my God. I said, yo, Tatum is killing this, man. So for her to do that, get the dub, get the title, I think this is the perfect time. I think even for Tatum being the champ, there's a lot of room for any of these women to go up against her. Honestly, I mean, yeah, we could say Blake Monroe, cool, but I think there's so many more women she can go up against. Hell, I remember even when her and Wendy Chu had a thing a couple years ago. I was
Mhm.
forward with the whole thing with her and Wendy Chu. So I think right now, her being the champ, this opens up the door for a lot of different women to come through. Hell, I'll be okay even if Lonnie, my girl Lonnie, kind of came back because they had a little situation back before with the North American title. So there's a lot of story in this, and I think they can definitely do something with this, man. Heartbreak Prince, what's your thoughts, man? What you think?
No, I agree. I thought this match here was another 5-star match. And the ending on this was great too. Yeah, I thought these girls tore the house down. The story that was told, through their wrestling, but between Tatum and the culling being involved, and just the athleticism that the sheer display of athleticism that was put on between these two ladies. That I wanted, was a cold breaker. I don't know what it was
Oh
that
yeah,
Tatum went into the backflip and kind of just stood up right there
yeah.
to cap off the finish. That was phenomenal. Like you said, the dive over the rope into the power bomb, like those ladies were going all out. and I thought they killed it. And I was happy to see, and the crowd being there for Tatum was just also magic. And her actually winning and being able to go into the crowd, great. But yeah, this was well done. This really was. It was an excellent match. Um, I struggle to say because I did like Ricky and Joe
Like
Hendry
even.
as
Oh,
well,
and Joe.
but I do think I have to give these ladies the edge though, for best match of the night for Vengeance Day 2026.
I
I I
agree,
I,
man.
I thought they killed it. They did a phenomenal job.
They did, man. And I think the story was there too. Like
Yeah,
they told that story so well, whether it was
yeah,
outside the ring with the vignettes, their promos, and especially in the ring. And I think this kind of brought that North American title some, not, I wouldn't say some relevancy, but I think this is what kind of brought it to the next level, having that great storyline
yeah,
for that title.
yeah,
And I mean, hey, again, for Tatum, this is another one under your belt, girl. You didn't have the NXT champ, even though Izzy did you wrong. I'm gonna keep it kayfabe. But even with that, and then now you having this title, I think, man, sky's the limit. I think she is phenomenal. And I think she's about, I ain't gonna say she's ready. I mean, I do think she is, but I don't know if the main roster is gonna be ready for her. I think because she's so unorthodox, I think there's so much of her as a character to unpack. I don't know if the main roster is ready for her yet, man. I think she got to just keep cooking in NXT until they're ready. They'll call her up because I think she's ready, but they need to be ready before they call her up because
yeah,
that's somebody I feel like they need to really take care of, and I hope they don't try to treat her um like Nikki Cross. I
And
felt
make it
like
part of Wyatt Six.
Yeah, because I felt like Nikki Cross has such a great character with her alone being crazy. Then you made her Nikki ASH and all this BS.
Yeah,
And so I don't want them to do that with Tatum. I want them to keep her as she is. Let her be that dark, the emo, all that, like the eager, all that stuff. I want them to keep that and just let her evolve more of that character. So
yeah,
they gotta just they have to respect what she's doing because I think her kid, like it's not a regular character that we've seen. I think she just has a lot. And then again, her moveset. I love when she one of my favorites is when she runs to the corner and she kind of throws her whole body to the side.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
yeah, I like that. Like something about it is like it's just different.
yeah,
I like her movements, man. She's got a lot to really
yeah.
offer.
I like that flip over kick she did to Izzy today. Yeah,
Yeah.
caught her around the back of the dome.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
I liked it,
I
man.
like it.
I get. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, Booker was going crazy. By the way, because I just real quick because I know we talked about the Tony D'Angelo and Deion Lennox match. Who the hell was leaving this candy on the announce table? I keep trying to figure this out. Every time when the table goes down, I'm like, it's either Booker or Vic. I think it's Vic.
It-
I think Vic is because it's always on the left side, and that's where Vic be sitting at. I'm like,
but
Vic,
Booker
you
be
got a
eating
sweet
it.
tooth? Yeah. Well, Booker be he be in some other extracurricular activity. So I
Activity.
yeah. So I'll be like, look, somebody's eating this candy, but every
Yeah,
time they do it, I'm like, look at this, Laffy Taffies,
yeah,
freaking Jolly Ranch roll on the
yeah.
floor. I'm like, yo, we gotta find a new spot for this.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they doing, man. Them boys be snacking. Booker, he ain't afraid to order some damn DoorDash while he working. I didn't see him do it. I
Oh
seen him do
Lord.
it. I seen him do it. They
Oh
got that
yeah,
nigga
man.
4K. Oh yeah, man. 4K just
Yeah.
ordering. I said,
Lord.
Booker, what the hell? You supposed to be calling the match.
Booker said he hungry.
Yeah. Hey, I get it though. Them man, they be there for like 3-4 hours. So it's like I get it, bro. After
Yeah.
you doing the LFG show, then you doing well, it used to be, and it used to be before the level up. Now it's like y'all do Evolve, y'all do LFG, and then y'all do NXT. So it's like, yeah, I get it. Oh, all the time. Yeah, you order me something too, bro. I'll throw the bread for it. I don't care. Oh man, but let's talk about this next segment because I thought this was fire. Oh man, I love this. But I will say what I will say is this because I thought this was crazy. JCJ, and by the way, Robert Stone, I ain't gonna cap, bro. They ain't giving you no damn respect. I don't,
Nah, poor Robert, man.
when it came to Ava used to shut the whole thing down. It's like with Robert, they're like, I don't need to talk for me. Shut up, Robert. Because you know what it is? I think it's because he got the interim. When you're called the interim,
Interim
you
title,
just
yeah,
you just in between. So
yeah, the
it's
interim
like they
title,
look at you as temporary. They got to
yeah.
take that off. If they make Robert Stone, I think the official, then it's like you ain't gonna be talking to me like that all crazy. But I'm like, damn,
It's
bro.
probably gonna be Shayna Baszler.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, they need a stronger fan. Hey, look, you have Shayna Baszler as that GM.
Yeah.
Boy, say something wrong. She gonna snap, tap, or crack you. It don't matter, boy. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, Shayna. That's what you want. Do that. I think that'd be a perfect fit. But yeah, man, I love this. JC Jane kind of talking her stuff, talking about how before when she was on Stand and Deliver last year, she was on the pre-show, and I said, damn, that is true. But again, that was a hell of a tag team match for that pre-show. And a lot of those women in that pre-show should have been on the main roster that you could have had for the tag team division. But I digress. I think for her talking about her journey, how it was for her last year, and then how this year she's gonna be a stand and deliver. I said, yeah, JC, talk that talk. I said, yes, right. You ought to be there. You should be. Because you've been second fiddle for so damn long. It's time for you to be there on that main spot. So I love that. Then Zarya, you saying Zarya said Soul's ex? I said, come on
Mm.
now. I said, Zarya, I said, this is what I'm talking about, Zari, with the all black on. I said, all right, bet. I'm
Hey,
with
the crowd was
this.
there for Zarya too.
They was.
They were
They
there for Zarya.
was. I and you know how I feel about my girl Zaria, man. I said, look, Zaria, you gotta do something with this. But when Soul came out, I'm not gonna lie, Soul has been so good on the mic. Oh my God. Like, I remember there was a point where
There
Soul
goes
was
my
okay.
baby.
You see?
Ooh, girl,
Girl,
look
look
at
at you,
you.
man. Chill. I
You
remember
don't know how
how
good
good it feels to
feels to
call you
call
my
you my
soul.
soul.
No stop.
Yeah. You stupid. Silly. Hey.
Oh God.
Silly.
Oh
Is
my
this
God.
nighttime?
Hey, you would have thought. You would have thought we going crazy right there. It's around that same time. Shit, we
Yeah.
oh man, but I thought this was good for Soul, man. I think Soul, man, she has evolved on that mic, man. Because I remember there's a few times before when they was first introducing that North American Women's Champion, and they was doing everything. Everybody was talking. I said, "All right, Soul, you talking a little bit. You're not too bad. You all right? Still got some time to work." But now it's like it's just natural, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, this sounds like authentic Soul. This sounds like how the Soul we should know." And what's kind of crazy, I'm not even gonna lie, Soul kind of talking a little crazy. When it comes to Zarya, it's almost like she be kind of playing in her face, like,
Hmm.
yeah, like, I know you, I know how
I
you
know
are. I'm
you.
like, yo, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, you better chill with this now. You better stop. You better stop.
Mhm.
You better stop. And then I love how Fallon and Brenly Reese, not Brent, whoa, wow, not even her. Laney Reed.
Laney Reed. Okay.
Yeah, man. I love how Fallon, yo, and I thought this was interesting too, because I had to talk about this. I love how Fallon was like, I helped JC Jane win her
Yeah.
NXT title. Do you
But you
think I
don't see
throw it in
me.
her face?
Yeah.
I
You don't see me
said,
turning her face.
he just did that.
Yeah.
Like, I said, you just did it. Like, what are you?
Yeah.
But JC kind of ignored it and was like, yeah, kind of just nudged it off. And then even for Laney Reed, I said, Laney, it's still crazy how you even came into this group because you were the first one talking about JC Jane was the most beatable champion of all
Yep.
time. I said, and look how the tables done turned for you, boy. Hot damn. But I love this, man. I thought this was great. Love how they kind of started to brawl. Interesting thing I think that was about it was when Fatal Influence started kind of jumping on Soul. Zarya
Yep.
started throwing. I said, all right, Zarya, show that power. Show how strong you are. and still wanted to kind of get Soul for herself. And then at the same time, with Soul trying to hit another double Soul Snatcher,
Another double soul snap.
Fallon, yeah, bro,
He
Fallon and
saved
Laney
her.
pulled it, yeah, and Zara the only one that took the L. I said,
Yeah.
all right, Zara, this ain't on you. This because you still trying to do what you had to do because you ain't got a group. You know, that's the only reason why JC got saved. But I said, Zara, you got to start. We need to start hitting some more F5s. I need to start hitting some more spears on them. I need you to look nasty like we know you can be. Shout out to Mr. Exclusive. I know he would always say it. But yeah, I need Zara to be more be just that nasty heel that will just beat the hell out of everybody. But yeah, man, I love this 100%. What's your thoughts, man? What you think about this whole thing?
No, I thought this was this is great. They let JC Jane go for a minute before Rob Stone stepped in. It's like, hey, look, we brought you out here to set up a match, but we kind of knew this was going to lead to a match where all between the three ladies,
Hmm.
which is perfectly fine. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know on this one right here. Of course, I'm rooting for Soul, but we keep talking about the rumors of her possibly getting ready to go to the main roster. So it's like, how much of a title run would she actually get to have, or reign would she actually get to have if she were to win this? So is she the right pick for this? Maybe it is Zarya in this case. Either way, I just think with these three ladies right here, it's going to be good. I'm excited to see what kind of match they can put on and deliver. But yeah, the promo between all three of them was great. That attempt for the double soul snatcher, I was there for it, boy. I was there for it. And when they pulled it, when the girl Laney Reed grabbed and pulled JC Jane to the side, I was like, oh.
That
I
was
said,
slick, boy.
that's a teammate for you right there. That saved your life. Because Soul was going to tell you, your soul is mine. I love that. I love that your soul is mine. I like the fact that she's starting to tell people.
Yeah, I like that because it's like
Yeah.
now we know why you're the soul snatcher.
Snatcher. Yep.
It's like
Yep.
oh,
Yep.
but yo, and then I think with Laney Reed hitting that knee on Soul, I said,
Yeah.
God, damn. I said, oh my God, they was strong, boy. That's
Yeah.
Roderick strong. I
No.
mean that thing, boy. I said, yeah, boy, that's a knee like no other, boy.
That them knees are dangerous. Them Roderick Strong knees are OP.
OP, boy. I said, nah, you going crazy with this. There was one last thing I wanted to say. I felt like I might have lost my train of thought on it because it was about this segment here. Um, oh man, I think where was it at? I had it. It was right there because it was in between in the midst of it. It might have just been with the knee. But that oh, that was my thing I was gonna say. I'm shocked that this is something that they're doing in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I thought to myself, I said, 2 weeks, we're
Stand
not
and
gonna
deliver.
save this for stand and deliver?
That's what I
Yeah.
thought they would do it on stand and deliver. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe we might see. I'm wondering like maybe we might see an interference, maybe something might happen. But something like this, I would have thought we were gonna have for stand and deliver and call it done and be ready for it. But then I'm like, well, if that's the direction we go, and let's say Soul does win it. I mean, granted, that's 2 weeks from now. We're 6 weeks away from that. If Soul wins it, and let's say she wins the title, then are we gonna have Soul versus Zarya as stand and deliver for the title? And not to say that we shouldn't have JC Jane, but that's where I'm kind of wondering, like, where
Yeah,
does
because
all this go?
I'm sure JC's gonna want a rematch.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and that's kind of my whole thing with it. I'm wondering. I'm like, damn, only two. It felt like the way this was going, and again, Chef Sean, it don't seem like you want to really repeat yourself or recycle stuff. So I don't ever give you that same thing. But it's just when I was looking at it, I said, okay, I think this has the same magic like we seen last year with Oba, Trick, and Javon. Like that whole trio of a match buildup. So that's when I was like, well, I feel like that's the direction we're going in. But if not, hey, Chef, I believe in you, bro. You ain't let me down. I ain't gonna lie. I said what I said about Zarya, but you done right by her. So we're gonna have to wait and see. But that one, I'm still curious as to where we're gonna go with that because I'm still like 2 weeks, huh? It's a little close. It's a little close. So we'll see
Yeah,
about it, man.
I don't see a definitive winner 2 weeks from now. I think that's definitely gonna carry over to Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. But then I'm wondering how would it be meant? Like, how would it not be completed? Like, is Fatal Influence going to interrupt? Maybe
Yeah.
Fallon Haley might attack JC Jane and something like, I'm like, man, this is kind of because they've been kind of teasing that for a good little minute now. Like they had their issues, and now since Fallon's had the speed champion, everything's kind of died down, everything's been kind of cool. But this could be one of those to where it's like, be careful. We might not even say nothing about it now, but now we about to hit y'all with it right here. Boom. Turn. I said, all right. So we'll see. We'll see, man. We will see. Oh man. Let's talk about this next match, man. Cause I ain't gonna lie. This was a heavy hitter. Lola Vice. Okay. Going up against my girl Lonnie, man. Look, I thought this was great. The underground match, I ain't gonna cap, man. Lonnie, you're doing great work. Sean, the way you painted the picture for the promo for the match, I'm like, damn, thinking about it, I'm like, I didn't even know we was going back that far
That
with
far,
this.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. They're like, yo, the story is right there. Like, it started when Lonnie got the TNA Knockouts Women Champion. I'm like, this is when it started. And Lola was the first one to tell Lonnie, look, you ain't welcome back over here. I was like, damn, I forgot about this. Like, I was like, yeah. And I didn't think nothing about it. But then it was like when Lonnie cut that promo, when she first had the title, and
Yep.
Lola was one of the first ones she talked about, and I never it never clicked to me. I was like, I just thought she was just talking about some baddies with some fatties. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think it was nothing crazy.
You thought you
You
were just
talk
talking to
about.
Jada Parker? I mean, what?
I'm thinking she was talking about
You want a
anybody
baddie
else.
with a fatty?
I got that one from Mace. Mace said that one time. I said, oh, that was a good one. But I'm like, I'm thinking, all right, she's naming some people, but Lola was the first one she named. And then I'm like, yo, I did not even think about that. So then it's like when we go down to this whole storyline, and I mean, even when we fast and forward and going through it, I'm like, oh, Sean, you cooked this. You cooked this one up. Whoever's in his writers' room, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is
They
why,
need to be called up to the main roster.
for real,
Hey,
for
hey,
real,
we
and keep
drafting
some
writers too
classes.
from NXT. That we
No,
just, hey, let's go.
because I said to myself, I said, man, I none of that even. I didn't even think about none of this. I'm still thinking when they talking about the story, I'm thinking about what's been happening the last couple of months, and then the fact they dated all the way back to then. I said, nah, bro, y'all got this one. This one really told the story, made the rivalry really make sense. And then they had Lola Vice's family out there.
Yeah.
Lonnie was out there talking her. I said, "Come on, Lonnie, talk that talk." I said, "Yeah, this is the heel I'm talking about." I said, "Man, this was good, man." Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, bro. The way I was thinking, I said, "All right, well, Jada Parker ain't never lost a street fight. She lost tonight." I said, "Well, Lola Vice ain't never lost one of these undergrounds." I said, this could be the night tonight. And the way how Lonnie, man, and I think you touched on this a couple weeks ago when they had their last match, how technical it was. Even though this was an underground, you know, kind of like an MMA style, she really got technical, taking the glove off, throwing it. I said, yeah, Lonnie, that's what I'm
Working on the
stomping and
hand the
all
whole
that.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, just really do that. I said, that's real wrestling. Choose a body part and pick it
Just
apart.
focus on it. Yep.
Oh
Yep. Yep.
yeah, man, I love that.
Yep.
So I said, nah, I personally thought Lonnie had it. And then when Lola just kind of came around and hit the little, I said, damn, Lonnie.
And the way Lonnie sold it too. I mean, that was
Oh,
a great sale. The way Body goes limp, just flop on
Just
over here.
drop, boy. Just.
Yeah.
Oh man, hey Lonnie, Mello is teaching you well, boy. I tell you, man.
I said, Lonnie,
This was great.
but you live. You
You
live to fight
live to
another
fight another
day.
day. Oh
That thing
God.
for my girl straight out.
Straight, man. Straight. Oh man. What you think about this whole thing, man? I know you got some thoughts on this one, man. What you think
No,
about it?
I again another banger match. I was really impressed with Lonnie the whole time. Like um, the way that she has kind of blossomed into what she is right now, especially kind of being a little bit more on that devilish side. I'm liking it. I think she nails the look, or looks, throughout the match, just the way she comes out, like all of that is great. And I just like how all of it, like she stays in the moment, in the character the entire time. Like I was just thinking about like, okay, she's out of her element here in an underground match, but she still has this attitude. She finds time to go and start, talking trash to Lola's family and her dad, and she it's not just a quick say something and then I'm out. No, she like dragged that on and made sure that
Yeah.
they that they understood that how she felt about the whole thing. And I don't know, I've been really impressed with Lonnie and her delivery of wrestling in this element, because of course when I first got introduced to Lonnie, as the face, it was like, oh yeah, she's perfect, it's great, she's a gymnast. You wouldn't see her being able to kind of go into this type of mode and have that in her. But they often say, I think, actually, I hate to say it, but I believe it's from Unreal. Your boy Hayes, I think, said it. I think he said it about Naomi being so nice and so sweet, but it's often the ones that are so nice and so sweet that can be your best heels or something like that. He said
Yeah.
to that extent, yeah. I think Lonnie is one of those people because she has that personality where you think, oh, this nice girl, nice looking lady. You just can't imagine her being devilish, but
Just
she is. And
adorable. You
yeah, and so seeing her do this, at first it took me a minute because I'm like, I don't know if I can buy it. It's Lonnie, but I think she's really run me over. And then of course we know what Lola's about, and we know what Lola can do. And this was in her element. And this is why I say I think that NXT got this match here specifically right, because I wouldn't expect Lonnie, even though I know she's done a little training with Shayna Baszler, but in a actual match of this nature, an underground type of match with Lola, to go in and actually beat Lola, at her own game. And that's kind of the thing I felt about, like I said, Jada and Blake Monroe
What Blake
earlier.
Monroe?
Yeah, it was because
Hmm.
I love the match. The ladies did a killer job. I just thought, this doesn't fit. This doesn't fit the mold for me. But in this one here, I thought they got it right. And I thought Lonnie looked good getting her offense in against Lola, and everything. And so like I said, she stayed technical. She focused on the body part. She kept picking it apart, stepping on it, stomping on it, throwing it against the ring post. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was going to work. The only problem was she decided to go mess with her family, and she took her time getting back in the ring. And the gymnastics is what got her. Just like Shayna told her, gymnastics is not going to win. And I liked how that tied into the story at the end, because right before the finisher, she did a backflip. And right after that
Hmm.
backflip, Lola came right in with the knockout blow. And yeah, I just said, oh, this is perfect. This right here is just cinema. It's magnifique. It's just A1. I loved it because I said Shayna teased that earlier in the week. Gymnastics will not beat MMA fighting.
Hey,
Uh,
and that was one thing I noticed because Lonnie kind of kept mixing it up. She would do a lot of like, her technical stuff, and then she throw a few flips in. I said, all right,
yeah,
Lonnie, gotta chill out. You gotta
yeah,
chill. And
yeah,
yeah, that's a fact, man. Yeah, I agree. But that was probably another one of my favorites. I still think the Tatum and Izzy Dane match was probably like my top favorite one of
yeah.
the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one was another one that had me glued to the TV. I said, man, these women are killing it, man. Shout out to Lonnie, man. You doing the damn thing, girl. I think her heel work, yeah, she's definitely grown. She's
Yeah.
grown as a heel. And I remember I've said this before, even on exclusive takes, the that promo that she did when she first became the TNA Knockouts champion, just had that heel promo. I said, you got it, Lonnie. I said, you got it, girl. You killed that. So yeah, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's next for both of them. I definitely think they're probably going to be getting called up soon. And honestly, I think the main roster needs two women like this. I really think they do. And this is not; these aren't two women that you just keep in the back and catering. You need to have these women up in here making a difference, especially Lonnie. She need to be up in there just attacking women, throwing shoes, whatever. I don't know. But you need to have her up in there just being a nasty heel, talking trash, and showing how good she is in that ring. Because she definitely can do that. Definitely. We got to talk about this, though. I thought this segment was interesting. Because I kept thinking Charlie Dempsey was with the birthright. And I said, no, 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 no. Man, look, Charlie Dempsey, was backstage talking to my man Tavion. Hey, shout out to my man Tavion, man. That's my guy. I don't know what it is with Tavion, but Tavion, I think, has a lot of potential. But Lexis King telling Charlie Dempsey, yo, so what's your decision? Charlie's like, nah, I'm good. Lexus King said, look, what's the problem here? What's the problem? He said, you got a father of Fit Finley. You got somebody that's the father that has a
Santina
father of
Marella.
Santina Morella. He said, you know who my father is, Brian Pillman. I said, man, come on. He said, you the father of William Regal. What are you doing with somebody that's a has-been Olympic gold medalist? You sitting here, you want to be here with these so-called athletes and all this other stuff. He said, you need to be here with your birthright. This is your birthright. I said, yo, Lexus, talk that talk, bruh. I, man. I think this whole birthright faction,
I
I
love it.
love this,
I love
man.
it. I
Oh
love it.
my God.
Yeah.
It is so key. And because it's just like, there's nobody, like, it makes so much. This is one of those, I feel like you can take this group and this group can go main roster. This is one of the, I ain't gonna cap. This is what I'm gonna say. This is one of those groups you can make into like a Don Callis type thing.
Yeah.
You can have about nine, like about 8, 9 of them because they would make so much sense. Matter of fact, since we're talking about Don Callis,
What what do we have here, fellas?
I gotta
Just
give it
don't-
some Don Callis slap
Ah,
for this
Callis,
one,
this
boy.
is silly.
Just got very rich from taking out Jet Speed, and it's Jake Doyle. This guy is an animal, and this guy's an animal, and we're gonna kill some people. That's what we're gonna do. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this? This is gonna be great. Ow. Let's go out.
This is gonna be great. Ow. Oh man! By the way, you seen what he did when after they won the trios title, bro?
Oh yes.
That video, that promo he cut when they
Yep.
ran in. I was like, I gotta get a
Yep.
video of this. He ran
Yep.
himself into the locker. I said, yo, Don, you are stupid for this,
Yeah,
man.
he
I
is.
love Don.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I think that whole birthright faction, they could really, like, imagine all these next generation, like all the second, third generation people you can grab. Like, you can get, I hate to even throw this one in there, but you can literally throw in Charlotte Flair if you wanted
There.
to.
Dominic
You know what I'm
Mysterio.
saying? Dominic, you could, like, that whole thing. There's so many people I can see Lexus King just recruiting, and just, you imagine him, like, all of them just coming up on the main roster and just be like, look, Charlotte, like, imagine if her and Alexa Bliss don't work out down the road. He can, like, look, Charlotte, we know how good you are. We know how great you are. Who is your father? You're the father of Ric Flair. It's your birthright. Just the way he presents it, like the way Lexus King presents the opportunity to join the birthright. I'm like, bro, you got something with this, bro.
Yeah.
Like, Oh my God. I'm like, yo, it could be so much more with that. And I think that's why I've been saying I feel like this is a group. Don't break up. Don't end this. This is a faction I feel like should be lasting for years because it's like you think about there's so many next generation people that are coming.
Yeah.
We know this, there's a lot of kid like not even gonna say kids, but there's a lot of next generation people come. Hell, even if Ava was still around, you could have recruited Ava on some real stuff like Ava, come on. We know who your father is. The most electrifying man supposed to it's
Plus
your
entertainment.
birthright.
Your
Like,
birthright.
like it bruh, it's so good, man.
It is
I'm
good.
like,
I like it.
I
I don't
really
know who
like
in
this.
creative came up with it, the idea of it, but and then the name is just it's perfect. It's all perfect. Yeah.
It
And
really
it's the
is.
a sense of entitlement that Alexis King has about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot of layers to it that's just like this is dope and this can work, this can definitely work.
Yeah, like this is one of those I'm like, nah, this was creative. Like you can really go so far with this. Like, I'm like, man, you only imagine like I'm trying to think of some more people that's like really I mean, I hate to say it.
What's the name? The Wide Six.
Oh,
Uncle Howdy.
Uncle Howard, yeah, you can bring
Yeah.
him up in there.
Yeah. Yep.
I hate to even say this, but majority of the damn bloodline, like
Yeah. Yeah.
you could just that could be its own faction with it. But I'm
MFTs
like,
versus the
yeah,
birthright.
man, come on, bro.
The
Like,
the bloodline versus the MFTs versus the birthright.
man, that
Are
could
they all
be
the same
that'd be
thing?
crazy. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. But I like this. I think what I like the most about the birthright is like it's not just one family. This is multiple different families,
Yeah.
multiple different like just different things. I'm like, yeah, man, y'all they can have so much with this. And you got Ariana Grace. Let's try to get a couple. Let's get another woman in there. I'm trying to think who else up in there is another next generation. Well, besides Charlotte Flair, I'm like, who else can we bring into this that can kind of take this to the next level? But again, Charlie Dempsey, you better stop playing. I ain't gonna lie, I agree. I love Tavion. Tavion's my man. But yeah, it's time to go ahead, kick him
I
to the
like the
curb
slow
and
play
get
here.
your ass with the yeah. I and see, I agree because it's so slow. I'm like, even though he's throwing out that opportunity, Charlie Dempsey looks like he's definitely gonna be
He's
that type
considering
to
it.
definitely,
Yeah.
yeah, he's considering it. And I'm like, yeah, you probably gonna turn soon. Like
He is.
it's gonna take I'd probably give maybe a couple of weeks or a month or
Yeah.
so. Um, hell, you know what? I'll say it right now. If they have something
Stand
going
and
on,
deliver.
stand and delivered, there you go. There you go. You took the words right out of my mouth. I
Mhm.
think it'd be one of those shocking moments, just like we seen when my man Roger Strong finally joined the Undisputed Era. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna be one of those kind of moments, man, where it's like,
Oh, Cody
oh my
being the
God.
birthright.
Yeah. Yeah,
Cody.
yeah, yeah.
Cody Rhodes.
Oh
Cody.
my God, I didn't
Cody
even think about that.
Rhodes.
Yeah, I mean, but I
Cody.
don't think Cody would definitely have to be heel American Nightmare, real heel American
Yeah.
Nightmare Cody to be a part of that. And I wouldn't want him to take charge of that. Let that be Lexus King. I think he's a great mouthpiece for the group
Mhm.
to kind of
Mhm.
talk. And I'm like, yeah, Lexus, like he's grown. He's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is it.
Because
But
once you're inside a quarterback, that's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
You
We
can't have a
gonna
play
do that.
caller.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, that's one of those things where you just gotta let them do their thing. And if you
yeah.
join up, be like, hey, just like how I guess when how Ethan or Ricky uses the Vanity Project, it's gotta kind of be that thing. Like, yeah, this is my group. Like, yeah, they bang with me. We know what time it is. This is our birthright. Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Do that.
I
So
and speaking of them, I meant to say this earlier. I really don't want to see like a feud between Ricky and Ethan. I just think them together with the Vanity Project is so good right now. Like I'm not ready to see like an issue where they have to split because I just think it's so good. I really do, and I like the idea they had where they were trying to get titles around all of them, but Ethan lost his, of course, and but I really do think that they are a great a great group together. I just think all of their personalities are just they match. It's a great thing.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I don't want to see them break up.
But it just seems like that's the way we get ready to go because Ricky, he's I'm not Ricky, but Ethan, he's about himself, and so he's already showing the signs that he wants the
He
NXT
said,
title, and so I'm like, oh Lord, I wasn't ready for it, but it's coming.
it's definitely coming. But since you talked about
Pause.
Ricky, let's yeah, Paul.
That sounded insane.
That was crazy.
I wasn't ready for it. But it's coming.
But it's going. Oh my God. Oh God. Let's talk about this last one since you talked about Pretty Ricky, because that's what they call him, man. This main event with Ricky Saints and Joe Hendry. We had Joe Hendry beating Ricky Saints, and of course, with the involvement with Ethan Page coming out, I thought that was great. I mean, I thought to the point I said, well, maybe Ricky might win this, but how he threw the title to Joe Hendry, I said, okay, I get it. You got to make it look like, it's a like a DQ on Joe Hendry's part. So I was like, I see what he was doing. And then with Ricky trying to hit the low blow on Joe, I said, all right, bet. Let's do it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think Joe gonna have that title much longer, man. I can't see him having it past Stand and Deliver. I really can't. I can't see him having it past Stand because I just feel like with Joe, I don't think he has much left to prove on NXT. I think him as a champion, I'm not mad about. I don't think he's boring. I think he's entertaining. I just think now, especially with Ethan and Ricky, I think those two guys alone are really entertaining and really just kind of getting me going for NXT. Again, like I don't want to say I feel like with Joe, is he a better chaser than a champion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it. I know exactly what you're saying. I got that same. I get the same vibe. I think Joe's character has a ceiling, and so once you make him your champion, it's like, okay, so what? Like what do you do with a character like a Joe Hendry who's just I don't want to say he's a gimmick, and I don't want to say he's gimmicky, because he can wrestle and go in the ring. That's it's just something about his character itself. It doesn't have range per se. It doesn't have like depth to it. Like it's one of those characters that gimmicks that you know is there to play a very specific role, or I mean, I say very, but a specific role. And it's not necessarily to be a champion, but maybe in that mid card range, area or whatever. But once he's the face of your brand, it's kind of different because it's Joe Hendry, and so it's like his music, like who he is, how he interacts with the crowd, all of that. It's just a little different. Like if you had Ricky Saints as your champion, he could be a face, he can be a heel, and it just his character has a range. Same with like a Ethan Page. His character has more range. I don't know. It's something about. It's just something with Joe Hendry where you just feel like there's a ceiling there. Like it's kind of hard to have him as the face of your company. You know what I mean? Or your brand.
Yeah, man. I think that's kind of been my thing with it too, because that's all I'm like, well, like, and I feel like we've seen Joe Hendry do a lot of this kind of the same stuff with TNA.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like, just like you said, it is almost kind of like a ceiling, because when it comes to like Ricky or Ethan, there's more layers to it. Like you can kind of play more into it. So yeah, and that's why I'm like, man, he might be a better chaser than he is a champion. And I hate to say that, but
maybe if he had like a heel side, Joe Hendry, where his music was a little different.
Yeah.
And then you could distinguish between the two Joe Hendrys, if that makes any sense. Like, if he's the wave your hands, then okay, that's the happy-go-lucky Joe Hendry. If he's the champion, whatever, that's the good Joe. But if he's like the heel Joe Hendry, he's different. His music is different. I guess that having that extra, it'll let him like spread his wings a little bit more than what the current Joe Hendry does.
Yeah.
Like tonight after he had a rough, just it was a bang of a match, like a tough match. At the end, we all doing the wave your, from side, and it's like, this is my champion. It's sort of like Kofi Kingston skipping down to the ring after being the WWE champion. I'm like, you can't be skipping to the ring anymore. You're the champion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, you can't be just skipping and tossing pancakes. I just, it can't happen anymore.
No, facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, if you're going to be taken serious as a long running champion, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the thing. I think, because again, we've seen Kofi now doing greatness with him mourning and stuff. But I think that's what it is with Joe. We got to see something different out of him. Not to say that what he's doing is terrible. I just think you got to be able to show a little bit different. Like if you have the ability to go heel, what would that look like?
Yeah.
Do you still play music? Do you still play the guitar? Are we still waving our hands side to side? Or are you telling us to put our damn hands down? That's the thing I want.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's only time. Only time will tell. But I think with Joe, I think he's just gonna be one of those, like, I don't want to say permanent baby faces.
Yeah.
But his character kind of gives like, yeah, I'm a baby face. I want to be a good guy. That's kind of the range I want to stay in. So we'll see, man. We will see.
But their match itself was dope. They put on one heck of a match. It was good.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I agree. Definitely a good match. Great story.
Ricky, I don't know how much more Ricky can do either in NXT.
Yeah, because the man done won the North American title and the NXT title, so it's like, I feel like once you get both of those, it's like, all you got left is the tag team title, and we know you ain't gonna be going for the tag title, so it's like that call up might be soon. But I mean, even if it does, like, even if both of them get called up, hell, if all three of them get called up, who we got left? I mean, and again, knowing Sean, he'll give us those new stars. I mean, hell, I still think Keanu Carver could be up next. I think they might be pushing more for, like a Sean legacy. They might be pushing a little bit more for Elio LaFleur, even though he just got the Speed Championship. I think, shoot, even if Ricky and Ethan and Joe go to the main roster, you can still do a whole bunch of stuff with the Birthright, because a bunch of them having, not everybody's gotten all their titles. So
still got Tony D.
Yeah, yes, Tony D. Yeah, so they got a lot of work they can, and knowing Sean, like, he's doing his damn thing, man. Like, Sean, yet again, we tell you all the time, man, it's either good or great, and you exceed even the great level at this point. I don't know what's the next. We can give you excellent, and damn near almost might give you perfect one of these days. But yeah, man, I think this was a great show overall. I think they delivered. Definitely made up for the BS we seen last night with Friday Night SmackDown. Definitely made up for the BS we seen last weekend with Elimination Chamber. So yeah, I think they delivered. They gave us what we were looking for, and I'm happy, man. What's your overall rating on this one, man?
Yeah, I give this a strong 4.5 out of 5. I thought every match was superb. I mean, I think everybody did a phenomenal job, and every match had its own like feel, its own vibe, and it was captured perfectly. Like, from the range of like, this is a street fight to, like, this is just an all-out brawl between, like Tony D and Deion Lennox. To this is an in-ring match for the North American Championship for the women's. To this is an underground match for, like, each one, like, had it really captured the environment, the feel of it perfectly, and the performers just did a great job. Like I said, everybody did a phenomenal job tonight in their matches, and I thought Vengeance Day was dope. They killed it, and I mean, I just thought it was the pacing. It was booked well. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the from the cinematography of it, the way they shot different things. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely was a extended great NXT episode. I feel like because again, I thought this was gonna be somewhere else, and then I was like, oh, we doing this at the Performance Center? Even
Yeah,
better,
yeah.
even better,
And the
even better.
crowd, that's another thing too. And the crowd, they really was giving that high energy too, and just locked in. Like I said, they were doing all the chants for Jada Parker. Like I said, I kept saying, "Is that Jay Movie?" Yelling. When I say this, y'all say that. In the crowd, like that, like
Yeah,
really conducting the crowd. And I was like, it's got to be somebody from that crew. It's got to be. But they did it. I mean, they did a good job. Like, they always do. NXT, they nailed it.
yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. Hey, happy belated to you, Jay Movie. His birthday was the day after mine. So hey,
Oh,
March babies, we
are we
killing it,
all
man.
March babies?
We killing it. Hey,
My
we
birthday's in
killing
a
it,
few
man.
days, man. We all March babies there. Great
Hey,
day.
I'm telling you, man, we going crazy, man.
Yeah.
But as always, please make sure y'all follow all of our social medias. I tell y'all this all the time. Y'all already know this. Facebook, we on that. X, we on that. Instagram, we on that. TikTok, hey, we're on that as well. Appreciate the love and support y'all been giving us. Look, I know y'all been kind of watching me on the TikTok lives. I've been doing some live paneling called Exclusive Debates. Make sure y'all look for that. When you guys are on TikTok, turn your notifications on. I've been starting to do those in the morning time. So, hey, look, I'm an early bird. If you get that worm, and go ahead and just listen up because I'm definitely going to be talking some real wrestling talk on there as well. And also, when you guys are on here on YouTube, make sure you turn on those notifications so you know when we go live. We always go live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. We go live on Thursdays, talk about AEW as well. And we always talk about those PLEs. So we usually get up on there about 10:30, sometimes maybe 11 o'clock, but most of the time be 10:30 tops. Okay, because shoot, we got to go to bed. And you know how to go with that. But make sure y'all like it up, keep subscribing, keep throwing in those comments, and we're gonna give you that content the exclusive way.
Exclusive way, baby.
Come on, man. You already know what it is, man. Yeah, man. Look, I again appreciate the love and support from all you guys. Appreciate the main event mamas podcast for jumping on with us earlier today. Shout
Had
out
a
to
great
Sean
time.
Diva, which is
Had a
our
great time with
new
those ladies. They
yeah,
were
man.
great.
Yeah,
Great.
man. And shout out to Sean Diva, which is our new member of the Exclusive Nights podcast. So that is
Yes.
a great thing to see.
Let's
You
go.
know what I'm saying? So we now have a new member. Look out for her. She'll be
And we got a
joining
female.
us. That's right. That's right. We got a woman with us now. So
Yes.
now we looking up, So I love this. I love this for us. And I think this is gonna do great. I love the insight that she was given. And I think this can definitely change the game for us as always. So look, man, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Keep throwing in those comments. Keep subscribing with us. Look, and we're here. Look, and we tell you all the time, y'all throw in those comments. You know how it is. We'll sit there, throw y'all up, highlight everything, man. We will sit there and respond. If y'all got questions, y'all know how it is with the Knights. We know what we're talking about when we sit here and get up on this stuff. So we're gonna give you the right education about wrestling that we know that y'all need. Because sometimes we be seeing some dummies on there, so we gotta let y'all know how it goes, man. We gotta tell y'all how it really goes down, man. So, but again, I'm your humble host, your man, your myth, your legend, Eric Knight. We have the one man and the only man that can check into the Heartbreak Hotel. That's the Heartbreak Prince himself. Because we are the Exclusive Nights, and we always ensure that we are the best there is,
the best there was,
and the best that ever will be. And to ensure that your nights will
never be
the
the
same. Y'all be good. Y'all be blessed. And don't y'all ever be stressed. That's true.
Step us out.